Biden and the left's radical policies are destroying America, and as a result, many Republicans think they have what it takes to win the White House, but former President Donald Trump stands in the way as he leads in every poll. Joining me now is a long shot presidential hopeful, Governor Chris Christie. And Governor, I know you come to the right place for a little debate prep. You came here, you're ready for a big debate tomorrow night. The other candidates, by the way, said they were locked down. You, my friend, everyone should know, you're out talking about. Now, here's the thing. I got two envelopes here. Governor, I got the hard questions, debate prep, or the easy ones. Which one do you want?
Hard.
Hard. Okay, I figured you would. That's why I put the questions here. All right, ready? Let's start. Here we go.
Being president isn't easy. So,
it's not easy.
Being president isn't easy.
It's not
easy. So you should get the hard questions.
Okay, let's start with a hard one. Was January 6th a protest, or was it a threat to our democracy?
January 6th, by the actions of the people up on Capitol Hill, turned out to be a violent protest, and Donald Trump's actions were a threat to democracy that day. And so, the actions by our leadership were uncalled for. He lied to the people on the ellipse that day, told them the election was stolen when it was not, told them that Mike Pence could reverse the election results when he could not, told them he was going to march up with them to Capitol Hill, and he did not. And so the threat to our democracy was by Donald Trump lying to folks. And what happened up there was a protest that turned violent.
And you don't think it was a little overblown by the prosecutors, and maybe we didn't really get the whole story by Nancy Pelosi? Let me move on, like we're in a debate. Do we have a two-tiered justice system with the current Department of Justice?
Unfortunately, the current leadership of the Justice Department is showing that we do. What happened with Hunter Biden, and you'll remember because I said it on your program, weeks before the plea was thrown out, I said it was going to be thrown out because it was so ridiculously one-sided that no judge would approve it. Now, that shows you that the judicial system still works because a judge, even in the small little state of Delaware, looked at that and said, no chance. And what the Justice Department tried to do was to throw the high hard one by us, Eric. A guy who had not reported millions of dollars in income, instead of being charged with felonies, he's charged, with misdemeanors, so he doesn't face any jail time. A guy who illegally filled out a gun permit and illegally owned a gun, facing a 10-year mandatory minimum. And guess what? Guess who the sponsor of that bill was, Eric? Joe Biden, Senator Joe Biden was the sponsor of the bill. They were going to give him a pass on that and also give him immunity going forward. I mean, what that tells you is that the fix was in on this one. We are very, very happy that the judge did what she did. Was her job, and she kicked it out.
Okay. So we have a two-tier justice system. So would President Chris Christie therefore pardon Donald Trump?
No, because I'm talking about Hunter Biden. Donald Trump will have to rise or fall based upon the proofs that are presented at his trial. Now, if I felt like a trial was unfair, then I would consider it. But if I felt like he got a fair trial by a jury of his peers, which is what every American is entitled to, along with the presumption of innocence, which he is entitled to as well, then we make those judgments at the time. But no, I would not automatically say because of what happened to Hunter Biden that someone else gets a pass. That's not the way you fix the justice system. You then prosecute every case without fear, favor, or partisanship.
Well, surely, Governor.
And the Attorney General I appoint will do that.
You were a prosecutor prior to becoming governor. Would you have prosecuted any one of these four indictments that Trump is facing at any level?
I would have prosecuted the documents case, absolutely, both because of the documents, but more importantly, because of the obstruction. I would not have prosecuted the case in New York, and I said that at the time. I would have prosecuted the January 6th matter, but I would not have prosecuted the Atlanta matter against Donald Trump. I think it was unnecessary to do so.
All right. So next question would be, Trump is polling at 56% nationally. The rest of you come in around 40%, 45% total amongst you. So this debate tomorrow night, tell me about this. Isn't this more kind of like shuffling the deck chairs on the Titanic? The ship is still headed for the iceberg. It's just who's going to be the top deck chair or the bottom one.
Well, only those who believe in national polls believe that. We don't have a national primary. And this week, I moved up to second place. And now within 20 points of Donald Trump in New Hampshire. And that's only after not quite 3 months in this race. And so, no, I hardly think the race is over. This is not the Yogi Berra school of political philosophy. It isn't getting late early. And so we're going to let this play out. And I think the big loser in tomorrow night's debate has already been determined, and it's Donald Trump, because he didn't have the guts or the respect to show up on that stage and defend his record and advocate for the future of America.
I'm not here to defend Donald Trump, but I am here to call you out when you say something like that. No, absolutely not.
You're not?
Listen, no, Governor, I have you on. Every time I have you on, you look at my Twitter, look at my social media. They hate me. They're like, Bolling, what's wrong with you? Why would you have him? But hear me out. Hear me out. You say he's the biggest loser. Right now, he's polling. You're a former athlete. You and I played baseball. You know, if you got the playoffs locked up, why would you play the game? Why would you risk having someone like Chris Christie leg sweep him when something he doesn't need to do that? Why would he do that?
Because this isn't baseball. This is democracy. And if you want the support of voters, you have an obligation to get out there.
To do what, Governor?
And to ask for their support.
It's not like they don't know who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump ran for 2 years prior to winning the election in 2016. He was a 4-year president. I mean, he doesn't have it. Does anyone not know where Trump stands on things? If there's one thing, he lets you know where it is. A lot like you.
No. That's not true, Eric. We don't know where he stands on things, because I'll tell you, he told me he was going to repeal and replace Obamacare, and he had a Republican Congress, and he failed, and he didn't do it. He said he was going to build a wall across the entire border of Mexico, and Mexico was going to pay for it. He built 52 miles of new wall in 4 years, and Mexico hasn't paid their first peso. He said he was going to balance the budget in 4 years, Eric, and he's saying the same things now, and he added over $6 trillion to the national debt, the worst fiscal performance in 4 years for any president in American history. So there is absolutely no connection between what Donald Trump says and what Donald Trump does. And the last piece of that is, he said he was going to clean out the swamp. He was going to drain the swamp in Washington. All he did was rearrange the swamp in Washington and made room for his own family to jump in with Hunter Biden and his family.
Well, you got to get going, because you got to do the real debate prep. This was a little bit of a good starting point for you, Governor. Really good. By the way, folks, love him or hate him, Chris Christie is here right now. Debate tomorrow night. The rest of the candidates are locking down. You got to respect that. Governor, really respect what you're doing here, and really wish you well tomorrow night.
Eric, look, your show is one of the best and most important ones to be on. You know I'll always make time to be with you. Thanks for giving me the time to talk to the voters.
Give him hell, sir. Thank you.